Warning, this is a random episode. Some hypothetical topics asked and or discussed may not be suitable for all listeners. Viewer discretion is advised. Dystopia.
This one's kind of an exercise, I guess. I'm going to name an accent, and you give me a name that you think belongs with the accent.
A country or famous person?
Just whatever the first name is when you hear an accent, or when I name an accent.
Okay.
Californian.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. French.
Pepe Le Pew.
Austrian.
Adolf Hitler. That's true. And I want people to know that Hitler was Austrian, not German, please.
Well, you learn that, yeah. Well,
it wasn't our thing, it was theirs.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 1000 Crazy Questions, the podcast. I'm your currently sane host, Houston Pierce. This is a podcast where for at least one guest a week can ask a series of crazy would you rather questions. We get to the psyche of our guests, explore topics and questions that maybe shouldn't have been explored. I take my questions from the listener or from a list of 1000 questions. You can submit questions to Judges at me at 1kcrazyquestions@gmail.com or at 1000 Crazy Questions on Instagram. And that's the intro. With all that housekeeping out the way, let's get into the episode this week. This week we have with us music producer, sound engineer, classically trained musician. You can find her latest project, Dystopia, on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and YouTube. It's the uberly talented Dalila Mya. Dalila, if you want to introduce yourself to the listeners. Yeah.
Hi, yes. And first of all, thank you for having me. And as I said, my name is Dalila Mya, or MYA. By the way, the MYA project stands for many years ago, as I started my music production a long time ago, and it's been my dream, my passion throughout my life. I'm originally from Europe, now based in LA, where I have a recording studio. Love the weather, love the city, part-time, loving the people. And I've been in LA for about 12 years. And currently working on my next album and still advertising my release Dystopia, which is available on all streaming platforms. And I'm here today to being asked 1000 questions. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. I don't know if we'll be able to ask all the 1000 just for time, but yeah, really generic question here, I guess. But what do you think about LA? I mean, I've personally been to LA. I really like it. I mean, I have my thoughts, but how do you think? What do you think about it?
LA is the typical city that you have to love and hate. There are so many beautiful things, of course, the weather being probably the most famous and appreciated thing about Southern California, which I love, of course. Today is a beautiful sunny day and it's December. Coming from Europe, of course, I do appreciate this because I was born in Germany, where 9 months of the year is pretty much snow and cold weather. The people, LA is known as a city. Because it's a metropolis, it's a very big city. There is very little space for socializing with people, which is something that in Europe, it's very different. I'm partially from southern Italy. So one thing I appreciated of my second native country is the fact that people hang out a lot on the streets. That's something that doesn't happen in LA. So the way to actually make friends in LA, the typical way to make friends is, for me, going to a yoga class. That's how you make friends in LA. It's also a city of a very contrast between, political beliefs, life views. So you find a little bit of everything. It is true that it's hard to socialize, but it's also true that the lifestyle in LA allows you to have a lot of outdoor activities, which help everybody, to have a good time, to find, meet new people. So overall, I would say, yes, I agree with most of the stereotypes about LA. Difficult people, beautiful weather, tough city, of course. The traffic is awful. That I can I can confirm, yes. And I don't think there is anything worse. I've been told that Miami and New York are worse than LA. I hardly believe so, because I dare you to stay in traffic for 2 hours, 45 minutes to drive 12 miles, which I did yesterday. So that's a challenge for anybody. If you can drive just 12 miles in 2 hours, 45 minutes, then you know what it is to drive in LA. Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I agree. And yeah, you've hit it all. Yeah, LA is a really special city. Yeah. And I've been to New York once, and I don't know, I can't really say what it's like to drive New York because I've never driven, but just walking down the street, oh God, like it's so weird that there's always cars, yet no one drives. It's like it's a paradox, and no one from New York drives. It's like everyone just comes into work. Yeah, and LA, I think LA might be worse. You're right, because I remember sitting in the car with my grandpa who lives there, and yeah, like 2 hours something wait just to
Yes.
go. Oh, that's awful.
Well,
Yeah,
I also think that the problem is that we in LA don't have a lot of a public transportation. There is, but
yeah,
unfortunately only connects certain sections of the city. So if you have to commute from one place to another and you don't have a car, good luck to you.
exactly. Yeah, and I've having seen it, dude. It's very it's not as well kept as some other places. I think too. Like it's a bit more sketchy. Not the New York or any other place can't be, because it definitely is. But everyone uses it. Everyone goes down there. It's a well-known system. It connects everything. LA, it's too big for this, for one, and two, it's like you're taking chances riding that public transport. Yeah.
That was my next point because I have to say I've been 12 years in LA and never took any public transportation. I wouldn't even know how to buy the ticket. So that's how much certain,
Yeah.
we interact with public transportation, and it's seen almost as like a kind of a social division between people. It's very weird. Before living in LA, I used to live in London. London's like pretty much like New York. You don't need a
Yeah.
car. Everybody takes a subway, or the way they call it, the tube.
The
And
two.
yes. And you
Yeah.
find, the handyman were, taking the train along with the banker, or, you find people of all kind of, backgrounds. Versus LA, it feels like the people who make it can afford having a car. So that's a status symbol. And the people that take the bus are almost like the losers that, are the different, castes.
They're broke. Like it's like oh,
Yeah.
sorry, bust Weller. Like
Yeah.
you have to, yeah,
Pretty much, which is wrong, but that's the way it is
yeah.
here, apparently.
Yeah, no, fortunately, that's the way.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. So I'm kidding.
Yes.
Quick, listeners, real quick, I'm going to sneak this in. Here are the rules to the game. There are 2 rules to this game/conversation. Rule number 1, you must always answer the question no matter what. If you honestly have no preference towards one or the other, you say the phrase, flip a coin, and we move on. Rule number 2, whoever asks the question doesn't have to answer it if they choose not to. These rules exist because as questions become harder to answer, these rules become harder to follow. This week, we have a Rebin episode, so the topics asked and the topics discussed and the questions asked will probably not be too family friendly. Go listen to the blue versions of this podcast where the episodes are a bit more PG. Otherwise, stay right here. Both versions of the podcast are just as insightful, funny, ridiculous. And quick bunch of formal disclaimers to listeners. Everything is hypothetical. If you are offended by this episode, you can at me, or I don't know, stop listening. I mean, you turn this on. I may or may not answer the ping if you have me. Who knows? And lastly, as before we begin, Dalila, is there anything you want to ask, like, or declare, or are there any inherent judgmental biases you may have?
No. I got in trouble in my past for being too honest, so that's the only disclaimer. and I also rippled on my music, so I'll leave you the story for later. So
Repo your.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been literally censored more than once, so that might be interesting for your listeners. Yeah.
This could be interesting. Okay, we're gonna get into it. First question, select question here. Would you rather always get free coffee or tea just for you, or always have green lights when you're driving?
Oh, living in LA, I would say green light for driving. I'll happily surrender my coffee to just to be able to drive from one place to another.
Okay. I mean, but it's green lights. You could still run into like that heavy, traffic. If it's streetway, yeah, okay, green light. But if you hit the highway, what does the green light matter?
But still, with the green light, I could run over people legally, which I couldn't do with red light. So
You got me there. You can run people over if you have the green. Yeah, being able to run people over without repercussion. I like the way you think. We're moving. This next one. Speaking of running people over, would you rather be deaf or lose all of your fingers and you can't get them replaced?
I would say lose a finger because being deaf will mean for me having to quit my job, which I can still do with partially, having some fingers.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's all your fingers. It's losing all your fingers.
All my fingers.
Yes.
No, and at that point I would go deaf because
really,
yes.
Okay.
Because think about it, you can still function in the society being deaf. I mean, it's kind of, you can be independent. But without fingers, that becomes a little more challenging. So in order to preserve as much as I can my independence, I would say going deaf rather than cripple.
Can't you, okay, but can't you still sing if you're with fingers? I mean, if you're deaf, I know it must be hard to sing, and I've never been deaf, but if you can't hear yourself, you can't tune your voice or if you hit a note right, you can't hear yourself sing. So if you're deaf, you can't really sing. I don't think so.
True. But at that point, if the universe strikes me with such, misfortune, I would maybe consider changing my career, doing something else with my life. But the most important thing, I think, priority in life for me is being independent. It's a God-given gift that, I have all my limbs and everything. I can imagine what it is, but I would still preserve my independence over my career. That's, a non-negotiable for me.
Yeah. Oh, I understand. I think I picked deaf too, for the record.
Yeah, a person, I have a person in my family that's deaf and she's completely independent. Of course, has picked a career according to, her skills and, function. But I can see a person that can get out of the house and do her own things and everything and still be functioning, not needing anybody for, running chores or, working versus somebody with no fingers. I'll be challenging, even just using the bathroom, to be honest.
Well, true. But I think, for the sake of argument, I think there are ways that someone with no fingers can maybe get by with something. Like, this is gonna maybe like they can still punch things, they can still push buttons. I think you can drive with no fingers. And if someone helps you put on like rubber bands around your this is so stupid. As long as you put maybe rubber bands around your stumps, maybe you can like put a toothbrush in there and brush your teeth or toilet paper. I don't know. I think you can. I think there's a possible life.
Yes, so, but it's also a lot of us. Sure. Also, a lot of adjustment and maybe scaring people because, if you have no limbs, no fingers, you got to do something to protect yourself. Otherwise, there might be somebody too sensitive on the streets and gonna look at you a little weird, like Edward. Yeah,
if any, you're really good at punching. I with no fingers, I think. But
well, at that point, I would just buy, some like Edward Scissorhand. You remember the movie from the 80s? The guy. Yeah, I would buy like or Wolverine. One of those. Artificial limbs to and kind of scratch.
Strap it onto your. Your arms, your limbs.
Yep. Yeah. Or a pirate, with a hook or something. I'll get creative.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. No, makes sense. No, makes sense. Jack. Perfect. This one is this is straight open. So answer this if you want to. But what song, if you could pick any song, would you listen to over and over again? Like you will no longer hear any other song. You just have to pick one song that will always play when you try turning anything on.
That will be Enjoy the Silence, Depeche Mode. That's also the song that kind of trapped me into this dream of becoming a sound engineer when I was a kid. So that's the song that, I can listen over and over. And as a sound engineer, I always find a way, this has never heard this before. I never paid attention to this sound or this word, this lyric. So that's a song that I can listen to over and over. Gotcha. That was an easy question. Yes.
Really? Okay. But why I think this question's hard, or at least for me to possibly answer, is because listening to your favorite thing or watching your favorite thing or eating your favorite thing over and over and over would eventually degrade this how special it is in your mind. So that's what I'd be afraid of with this one. And yeah, but also I want to say you said it trapped you into this life
Mhm.
of, of creating music. Uh, how if you can explain a little bit more of like how like it's a curse and a blessing that it got you into this.
Well, the thing is, because I picked my career at a very young age, and I was born with a perfect pitch, so my mother kind of figured out that I had this gift. I never had the choice. It was almost like a purpose of something that was dropped on me at the time of birth. Like, this is what you're going to do. And it has become harder and harder to change career because I've mastered my job, my work. And it's a curse and a blessing because sometimes when I feel like I want to maybe start over with something different, I totally have no other skill whatsoever. I might have, but at this, it's something that I've been doing for so long and I mastered and I'm confident. And I'm also sincerely arrogant about my skills. So I'm literally trapped because I don't have any other choice. This is something that I'm going to do until I die. I'm going to be like, the musicians on the Titanic. They kept playing until the boat sank and they didn't stop because that was their purpose. So I'm afraid I can totally see myself, older being, kind of there almost dying, still playing and still doing the sound engineering because that's what I do.
Wow, what a fascinating problem you have.
Yeah.
And I mean that. That's fun. Some people are still trying to find, I don't know what I want to do, with their life. And
Mm.
you're like, I don't know, not only do I know, but I've gotten good at it and I can't imagine getting outside of it. Yeah. Yeah. I know some people are big for that problem and not diminishing your problem because that is a problem to what you're saying, but it is kind of funny. There's people who can't get in and you're like, no, I can't find a way out. So yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly. So that's the blessing part. Yes.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, at least you still enjoy it, at least for now, or a bit of
Oh
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
the type of career that you pick for the passion, not for the money, of course, because I don't think there's any musician or music producer at a level where you're not up there with the pedophiles. To where it's definitely not a job that will bring you the money, entrepreneur or a lawyer, whatever, or businessman or Elon Musk, but it's a career that fulfills you with so much joy, which I consider being a way more important currency than money itself. I mean, as long as I can pay rent, I'm fine.
Yeah. As long as the base needs are like met.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're doing what you were born to do, like you
Yes.
said. Yeah.
Mhm.
Speaking of, I was going to say doing what you're born to do, but I don't know if this one's natural. Would you rather have to strip naked every time you hear the sound of a tuba or have to open mouth kiss anyone who says the name of your favorite song? And if your song is just playing in public, that means you have to find the nearest person and open mouth kiss them to start making out with that person, whoever it is.
I will choose the tuba
The tuba?
because I have a problem with bad breath, with people's bad breath. I'm hypersensitive to the smell, and that just gives me that. So that would be probably, yeah, it would be gnarly. Yeah, it wouldn't go
Yeah.
well because I might throw up in their mouth, and then that's I don't want that. I don't. Literally, I'm too sensitive, so no.
Okay. That's interesting. Are you kind of like comfortable being nude and stuff? It also is like it's like not too much of an issue. There's some people who are so.
Yeah, well, that's I have to say. Part of my background is German, so yes, there is some truth that Germans love getting naked.
I didn't
because
actually. I didn't hear this. I didn't know this. This is a thing.
okay. So yeah, so if you travel to Europe, like a holiday destination such as Greece or Spain or Croatia, now is kind of becoming all the nudist beaches are all overpopulated by Germans.
I don't. Wow. I did go to Spain for. I did study in Spain for about 3 months or something, and there was a nude beach actually next to where I was. But the only people who utilized it were elderly Spanish people. So
Okay.
it was the crowd I was in, the town I was in was specifically more so for the elderly. I didn't know
Okay.
that. And like, I was like, there's a nude beach, guys, over there. I was like, what? A nude beach? And then, me and my friends go over there. It's like, it's like 90%, old
Elderly.
people.
You
Yeah. And I
know,
was like,
but it's all.
oh, okay, got it. That type of nude beach. Yeah. But I didn't really, I don't know. I didn't know. I hear that stereotype or that saying about Germans or
Yeah, Germans and Scandinavians, and I think it's a lot to do with the weather being mostly constantly cold. So anytime there's a chance of sun or of light, Germans and Scandinavians love getting naked, and also the Anglo-Saxon culture is slightly more open than Southern Europe. I can tell you the difference. I remember dating a guy from Sicily. I spent part of my life in southern Italy, being part of southern Italian. And I remember going to his family. He had a beautiful mansion by the sea in Taormina, in the south of Sicily, in August. Super hot, 90 degrees in the shades. And I was just, they had a pool and I was sunbathing with my bathing suit by the pool. And the mom comes out and I'm like, this is Sunday. We don't get by the pool with a bathing suit. This is the day of God. So we need to get dressed. And I was like, it's 90 degrees and I'm by the pool and I'm, it's 2010 back then, something like 2015, it's not the Middle Ages. And so I was really impressed by this discrepancy, like a huge difference between Sicily. Okay, it's Sunday, don't get naked by the pool. And then the German side, well, yoo-hoo, like there's sun, let's go and get naked and have a party. So
yeah. So like, you're fine with it. Yeah, you're like, yeah.
Totally. Yeah. You might have a problem. I don't know.
Or my Americanness. I don't know.
Well, I have to say, I'm happy with my body. I do yoga. I'm not completely, I take care. I'm not a model, but some people might have something to say about my ass. That's all I can think. It might be controversial. Rather than that, I don't think I would shock anybody.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think this question is actually too harmful. Well, it could be, I guess, especially with the second one. You're kissing a random stranger, and so that could be harmful to whoever you're kissing. But yeah. This ultimately, it's just kind of it's a culture thing. Like, there's not going to be anything too bad that comes with any of these. I mean, well, okay, I guess you can get arrested for being naked in public, so I take that back. But I don't know. I don't hear tuba music often, though. Honestly,
not in Germany. You know that in Germany it's legal to drive naked.
It's legal to drive naked.
Yes, you can drive naked. It's illegal to kill a cockroach. You get a fine if you kill a cockroach, but you can drive naked. True story. Google it.
I don't even want to ask why. I don't think I even want to know the answer why you can't. Is it is there some type of religious, historical reason why you can't kill a cockroach?
No, I think that it's part of the green, nature preservation, because Germany has been mostly, politically in the past 20, 30 years, very green. So it's part of, nature preservation. That the thing with the cockroaches.
But a cockroach.
I know. I never seen anybody being fined. And also there's a thing that a cockroach is not really popular in Germany for the same reason. The weather is so cold that even cockroaches getting them, out of Germany. They're moving south.
I guess that's why they're protected. Because if you see ones like this one's trooping the cold, this one's we actually have a cockroach. Let him do his work. I guess that's.
You might have a point there. Yes.
I guess that is you answered for me why that was even.
Yep.
I guess that makes sense.
But next time you go to Germany, you can rent a car and drive naked. You cannot get out of the car naked because that is, something about, public decency, but you can drive.
Mhm.
And if they pull you over while you've been naked, there's nothing they can say to you.
Good to know. Next time I actually do want to visit Germany, so
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah.
If you could go back in time and see anyone live in concert, who would it be? Or you can see someone. You can say someone modern day too. But they say money and time is not enough. It's not a thing. You can see anyone.
I have a couple. My first choice will be Frank Sinatra.
Good choice.
Yeah, because first of all, I think it was the greatest singer. I mean, the tone of his voice, and I'm not talking about the vocal range. It's about just the tone. And lately, I've been listening to his concert/shows in Vegas. Back in the days, and he was such not only a great singer but an entertainer, a comedian. It's there's this shows on Spotify. I'm sure you're familiar with. There are 2 hours of him singing and entertaining people and making jokes. It was such an amazing experience that that's probably one of the shows I would like to go back in time and watch live for sure.
Nice. No, that's a great answer. I think I might steal that. Maybe the only person who comes to mind for me is Michael Jackson when he played in London. And I think it was for like royalty was there, like the London royalty was there, and it was I saw there's like a YouTube video of it, and there's just so many people, and he puts on this he's a crazy performer, and he's a great vocalist, but he's an even better, dancer. So yeah, I think I'd pick that. And yeah, I'm not even a concert person, but
well, I would agree with you. That would be probably my second choice because I not only have so much respect for Michael Jackson, and I've been, kind of researching a little bit like the conspiracy theories of, what's behind his death. And I've learned so much about Michael Jackson that I gain even more respect after knowing what he was fighting and why his career was deliberately destroyed. So, yes, also knowing what I know now, I would agree with you that I would join you to see Michael Jackson. So anytime you build that time machine, let me know because we can go back together. Yes.
I will keep you in mind for sure. And that actually is perfect segue into kind of my next question, because I wanted to know, and this isn't even hypothetical, but can you and should we be able to like separate the music that an artist makes from the artist? I know this is something that a lot of people talk about, but even with Michael Jackson, right? Even some years ago, before some stuff came to light with before a lot came to light, I would still pick Michael Jackson. I would still go back to see that concert, because as much as it's not, I didn't see every single documentary they made about him, but as much controversy as there is around him and all that he did, I love his music too much. Like I grew up on it, and like it still moves me. His songs just move me. So I would think I would still pick it, even if nothing from his allegations changed, which is terrible to say. I mean, I know I'm nothing to the families that, that's awful. And, if he did it, I don't really know, but I'm just saying it, I would still pick it. There are other people who I don't think it's worth it. R. Kelly, for example, it's pretty much confirmed he was like part of this ring and everything, but the song I Believe I Can Fly, for instance, is still a great song, but I can't not hear it and think of him with golden showers and girls and whatever. So it's tough. Can we and should we? Sorry, I ranted for a minute, but do you think we should and can separate music from artists?
My answer should be yes.
Yes.
Should be, because as an artist, I tend to split my persona from my art, because most of the time, what we think, our political views, our life choices shouldn't matter when we produce art. And I'm using should because I think it's a kind of a gray question to where I would say yes on 80% times and 20 not, because an artist can have, I can disagree with an artist on, uh, politics, on life views. But of course, when it's objectively an issue of being a criminal or somebody that is doing harm to people, to children, to women, men, whatever, to people in general, that of course has to pose a question. Okay, should I still follow this person, admire the work? But also there's a thing, humanity is made of people that have done evil things along with great things. I always bring the example of Thomas Edison being the inventor of electricity. We use, we still have a company in the United States.
Inventor, but
Yeah,
continue.
Yeah,
quotations, people who are listening. Sorry, I just quotation that, but yeah.
There you go. Let's call it the one that registered the patent because he had the money to do it, whilst Tesla and Marconi did not. But we still kind of consider Edison one of our founder, scientists of this country. We still have a company in the United States that provides electricity named after him. But people also acknowledge that he's the guy who invented the electric chair, which has only one purpose: to brutally kill human beings. Never mind, the crime or whatever. So unfortunately, we need to coexist with a human nature that it's evil and divine at the same time. So you'll never find an artist that is 100% only in the positive or in the, in the godly, divine, bright light, I would like to call. There's always going to be a dark side. I think it's up to you. It's your consciousness that will tell you when it's right or not. We should value more our own consciousness in making this decision. So to answer your question, I would say 80% of time, yes, I agree on splitting the career from a persona. But also I like to believe that my consciousness from time to time tells me, okay, you know what? I just realized, I did research. I realized that this person is so much drawn toward the negative that I decided to disassociate myself from, the art of this person. And this goes for, musicians, actors. Lately, I've been cutting, out a lot of actors because for the same reason. Because as you know, this, exposing the pedophile ring and all this, dark secrets that are, being exposed in Hollywood. It's not only about the music industry, it's also movie industries. Yeah. And beyond. So I think at that point is your own consciousness that decides what's best for you.
Yeah. No, well said. Well said. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Where'd you get the number? I don't know if I agree with the 80-20. But I like the numbers. Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
We can disagree on who should be the next president. I don't mind. But if we disagree whether raping a child or not, that becomes, the I draw the line at, where that's, or, or performing rituals, black magic, things that and lately it seems like there is a wave of artists that like that very much. Whether now it's working or not, it's just ritualistic or there's a real purpose. No matter what, when blood and children and rape are involved, I am not really.
I would, I think that's a decent time to jump off that train. I yeah, that's.
There you go.
I think I draw the line at rape. Is that too extreme? Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah. Well, no, well said. And this next question is it's very wholesome. I think will bring us back to the spirit of the episode. Would you rather have a fully working penis placed on your forehead like a unicorn, or have to call everyone in your life mommy and daddy? And this includes strangers. You are addressing everyone as either mommy or daddy. And this is 100% of the time to children, to adults, to family members, strangers.
I have to say, in a very cynical answer of mine, I'd rather have the penis. That would be so great to fuck people in their ass for once. The people I don't like. Sorry, and this is the uncensored, right? This is the. Okay, so yeah.
Right answer.
I'd rather be the unicorn with the penis because I could get so much revenge of so many people. I'm already picturing myself going around and yes, I'll go for the penis. Yeah, the mommy and daddy will bring so much of the psychological issues that we already have. Not only, the last thing I want to do is go randomly talk to men and calling them daddy. That will be very much the situation in reverse with the other person with a unicorn penis. So I don't want to be the one fucked. I want to be the one fucking. At least if I have the choice, I'll be the one fucking them.
I don't know how to tackle this. Okay. Several things, I guess. Well, first off, thank you for answering. Second, are you not worried about the appearance of dick on your forehead? That doesn't bother you. Like you can't cover it up. It's like
That's okay. I could buy some fancy hats and, do something creative, or dress it up with LED lights, something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, LED. Yeah.
Besides, I live in LA. They love it here when somebody's weird and undefinable, So
True.
I'll probably be a celebrity in LA. Oh, look at that. And straight.
Yeah. Look at them. They are so
exactly. They couldn't even. Yes. Yeah. I'll be a celebrity. I will have people throwing money at me. So yes, let's go for the penis.
I feel like because it's LA though, they would also really appreciate the mommy daddy thing too. Like if there's a way to spin it somehow, just I don't know, stay with me. If there's like a way to go, there's like you're at a bar or something, you're at a coffee shop. What would you like? Can I get a latte, no fat whipped cream, daddy? Just say it fast. And like they think, oh, what a weird old school thing to say. And then they get you your coffee. Thank you, daddy. Like, I don't know. I think people would think it's a joke, especially in LA. Can you play it off? Maybe. I don't know.
Also, sure. But also some people will think I'm dating some nasty 80 years old billionaire for money. Imagine, or I don't know. It could go either way. That's the thing, because LA has got the thing where people either love something or have to kill you because the whatever you're doing, it's so wrong. So it could either end up, with me being worshipped or beaten. Depends, or both, and you never know. So no, I'll stick with the penis.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I respect your decision and I respect your body and life choices. I think it's very brave. Yeah, commendable. Yeah, I don't even know what I'd say. Speaking of pariahs, would you rather know that if you stare at things too long, they will explode? And like the bigger it is, the longer you have to stare at something. But like for a pencil, for example, if you stare at it for maybe 6 to 10 seconds, it'll start to smoke and then blow up in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you speak too loud, a tall, like imaginary monster will come and smack you across the face. And no one else can see this monster but you. And this is if you speak above a certain volume.
I will choose the steer and dissolve. Yes. And then I'll tell you why.
Okay.
It's actually a very basic principle of physics. So I have a background in physics, and then another principle of entropy, to where energy dissolves. So naturally in the universe, energy tends to dissolve, to, just emanate. Mm-hmm. So I will go for that because I could actually I can master that skill and then learn to make people disappear. So I could dissolve people. So maybe I could start training myself with a pencil.
Mm-hmm.
And then, a little bit like a Yoda or a Jedi. I will
Yeah.
master my skill and learn how to make people disappear. And that will actually be a blessing. Imagine that. Because I have a long, long list.
I guess this is taking a villainous turn,
Yeah.
and it's super interesting. I'm here for it, but it's villainous. Okay, but okay, they're not. It's a. What you're calling disappearing is exploding. They will.
Explode. Even better. Even better.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about regular people, friends or family. No, no, no.
Mhm.
I accept, those people are exempt. I'm talking about people,
Mhm.
crimes against humanity, the
Yeah.
people that I think that are here on this planet just because they hate our human race and really want us to not to have a
Yeah.
good time here. So I'm not talking about my loud neighbor that, smokes weed upstairs and I have to smell it. No, that I can handle that without
Yeah.
superpower. It's,
Yeah.
maybe doing to them what they're trying to do to us, just making them explode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not to get too psychological, because I think this question does it kind of split the line between physics and psychology. But if you're taking the role of judge, jury, executioner for yourself, vigilantism, are you not worried about maybe crossing a line? Or, obviously you're not going to kill the guy, like you said, your neighbor upstairs, whatever, smokes some weed, like someone who mildly annoys you. But you might take out someone who, let's say like a corrupt figure who deserves it. And actually, funny enough, in recent news, something's actually happened related to that. And this person is getting a lot of praise. Without dating this episode too much or saying any names, something like that has happened. Are you not kind of worried about the power trip you might get? Would you just, you could change your career, I guess, now if you have the superpower. Would this be a way out, or would you are you kind of like, no? I mean, it sounds like you're willing to go down this path, but would you one day be like, that person did have a family, or they weren't all that bad? I don't know. Did you really do it?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm not such a sociopath. Not yet.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to paint you like that.
No, just for your listener, I don't do medication. I'm clean, so you don't have to worry about any repercussion or any mental.
You hear that, everyone? She's clean.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah, I'm clean. I don't do mood boosters or anything. My pleasure, my guilty pleasure is chocolate. So that's how far I go with dopamine. And I know I would never advocate. I would never play God. But I do believe that I don't even need to, there is no need for punishment for people that are the true sociopath, because I do believe in a universal karmic energy. And by karma, I don't mean punishment. Karma means every action,
equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. So you draw to yourself whatever you're projecting. So whatever you're throwing in the universe will get back at you, and in a let's say in a reverse polarity. So I don't need to play God. There is already a force up there that I think is doing a good job. But we don't see it because it kind of, it's a universal force. So we have to look at the big picture. But I do believe there is a force that takes care of us. So, and I'm not it. So no worries.
And I'm not it. Yeah. That's a good one to add. That's a good one to add in there. And yeah, no, I agree with you. It'd take a lot of craziness to fully go into that. But yeah, it's worth talking about. I think it's worth exploring. I understand the thought process. I guess anyone has not thought about doing that or something like that. Yeah, it's very much real. Yeah, this question is kind of weird, but well, they're all been weird. But would you rather always sing a ballad about when you are sad about the situation that you are in and your emotions every time you are sad, or dance uncontrollably to music when you are happy/excited? Oh wait, sorry, not to music, just period. Just dance uncontrollably when you're happy or excited, even if there's no music playing.
Well, as weird as this question is, it's so simple for me. I will go for the first. So just singing a sad ballad, because it's actually what my music is about. as a music artist, the majority of my music is written in minor chords, which are very introspective and sad. And my music is pervaded with moments of sadness, not necessarily sadness, but introspection. That's my main source of inspiration. So definitely I do that, because when I dance, I think that's part of my German background. I look like a mop that is being kind of moved by the wind. If you leave a mop outside and then on the balcony, and then there's a wind bouncing the mop around. So, and by mop, I mean, yes, the stick with some hair on it. So yes, that will be me dancing. That's probably why I'm a great musician, because I make people dance. I don't dance. So I provide the music. That way I have a great excuse for not joining people on the dance floor and just being the one that actually is doing it. So I think it goes well with me. Yes, I will go with a sad ballad.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the mop analogy too is pretty. That's not that bad.
Yeah. Well, I've been told, oh no, you're good at dancing, and but at that time, all my friends were drunk, so I don't take that really, seriously.
Yeah. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. For the record, I think I would agree with you. I'm not a singer, but I feel like I can hold a note. Okay. But it's a bit, the dance with no music is just too awkward for me. It's just too cringy for me. Like, especially with no music, just the sound of just flailing. That's too much energy to expend. Yeah.
Yeah. Besides, without music, I wouldn't be inspired. So I would end up doing do you remember the robot in the 80s where people would doing the robot dance? That's what I probably would end up doing. Making
Yikes. Yeah, I mean, that's great.
Yeah, but I'll just make it full of myself. I'd rather be sad than embarrassed.
Gotcha. I don't know what you're gonna think about this one, but this one's kind of an exercise, I guess. I'm going to name an accent, and you give me a name that you think belongs with the accent.
A name of you're talking about a country or a famous person?
Just a name. So if there's a famous person, sure. If it's just a stereotypical name that goes with a country, sure. But just whatever the first name is when you hear an accent or when I name an accent.
Okay.
Californian.
Californian. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I know. Okay, I got it. French.
Pepe Le Pew.
Okay. Austrian.
Adolf Hitler. That's true. And I want people to know that Hitler was Austrian, not German, please.
Well, you learn that. Yeah. Well,
it wasn't our thing. It was theirs.
Italian.
Don Vito Corleone.
Oh, okay. Good pick. New York.
Frank Sinatra.
Smooth. Australian.
I wouldn't say kangaroo, but that's not a person. Maybe
you could just give a name that sounds like it speaks.
Oh, okay.
Australian. Someone says, "Hi, my name is Bleh," and you're like, "They're probably Australian."
Okay. I would say I will go for an actress. Probably one of my Naomi Watts. Yes. Naomi Watts. She's Australian. I don't know. Just the first name that comes to my mind. I like her.
Yeah.
So
that name sounds so familiar. I can't put a face to name. That name sounds so familiar. I'd like to look her up, but I know.
She's in a bunch of David Lynch's movie. So if you saw Mulholland Drive, she's the one that plays the blonde girl.
No, I need another movie. I have to look up after this. I don't. The name sounds very familiar. I didn't see that movie. Dang it!
Okay.
Dang it. Okay.
But check it out. It's
no, I will. I'll have to go back to that one.
Yeah.
Oh, British.
Oh, British. Mr. Bean.
He doesn't even talk.
That's actually
okay, yeah, British. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get any more British than that.
There you go. Kenyan.
Kenyan. Oh my. I think some samurai. No, I would say Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan.
Yes.
Jackie Chan from Kenya. Sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry.
It sounds. I don't know.
Sure.
It sounds like it's some martial arts. Something that you would shout.
You know what? Sure. Yeah. You know, there are no wrong answers with this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going just with with my mind, is association. So
no, you're good. Yeah, exactly. No, you're fine. You're fine. The next one, I swear, I was going to say this before you said Jackie Chan. I was going to say China. So Chinese accent.
Okay. Oh, Chinese accent.
I swear I was already going to ask that before you said Jackie Chan.
Then we'll go. Oh, what's that? The woman. I don't know her name. That's the one. The head of the China. Let's see. Okay. Can I be politically incorrect?
It's all up to you. You can be politically or impolitically correct as you want.
Anybody who picks up the phone when I call the Amazon customer service?
That's the accent. Sure. What's the name? What's her name?
Amazon associate. Sure.
They outsource a lot of their calls. Last one, Mexican accent.
My neighbor.
What's your neighbor's name? Actually, don't give me your neighbor's name.
No, all of them. I'm in LA. It's all of them. Did you know that LA is the capital of Mexico? No.
New Mexico is the capital of Mexico, or either New Mexico has, or Texas, the capital of Mexico.
Oh, really? So we're just okay.
It's
so
a lot.
Pedro Alvarez. I don't know.
Hey.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, there it is. Yeah. You did it. We got through. He did it. And I have to look up Naomi Watts because I forgot what her face looks like. But the name is super familiar to me. Thank you for getting to that. Huh?
She's good. She's also one of the very few that I haven't seen in the list of the weirdos, drinking blood. So,
yeah, that's good. Honestly, that's good. At least for now. At the time of this recording, Naomi Watts has not yet been. Yeah, I don't know.
It's always a good thing when you know that if somebody's not drinking blood from children. So it's a good news. So
yeah, that's always good news.
Yeah, it's just,
how low is our bar gotten as a society where we're like, they're not on the list. Ooh.
Yeah. We're lowering our standard. That's true. Yes.
Yes.
But I also think it's something that until it hits you personally, there are certain issues, certain topics that we don't really process as humans. It's like any misfortune. When something happens to you, and then you start to understand and process and criticize, but if it's something external that it's happening somewhere else, we humans tend to think, it's nothing that is really affecting me. So it doesn't matter. And that applies, to art, to politics, war, everything. So
that's the way people work.
Yeah.
If it's not me or my loved ones.
Yeah. As long we can just, we're happy with just posting our condolences or sharing our prayers for the people, for the victims, and that's how we fulfill our duty as human beings. And it's more than that.
Yeah.
Empathy goes a long way.
Yeah. It's a deep problem. Well, a topic I'll say. But so I have two things left, and there's one is like serious, kind of, and one is like a really stupid, kind of a jokey question. I want to give you the option. Which one do you want to start or end with? Which one should we take?
Let's do the serious first, and then let's do the joke at the end, just to end the episode, with a positive note.
Okay. The serious one is asking you if the perfect song exists. Like, is there a song that you think everyone in the world would like and appreciate?
Yes, any of mine.
Oh, snap.
The perfect song is the one I wrote.
Dalila, you have united the world. Thank you. Our gift from God, you've everyone is given the one song we can all agree on.
Yes. And also, by the way, I do record my music at 432 hertz. And for people that are interested in knowing the difference on what it is recording on 433 versus 440, it's something that you can Google. You can do some research what it is tuning your music at 432 versus 440, because actually music tuned at 432 has a very healing power, including very, very, very positive discovery that lately scientists have figured out that certain frequencies help killing cancer. So you can literally heal from cancer by listening to specific frequencies. So I've done an effort to include those frequencies as my mixes, because I want my music to be not only beautiful to listen to, but also having healing properties. So now, jokes aside, I do try to make an effort to, make a little difference in this world, even if it's just a teeny tiny contribution. Everything helps in this universe.
Hey, yeah, no, that real talk. Yeah, everything else. Yeah, and like we were saying previously too, make a difference on a small scale, even if you can't be on the other side of the world and care for literally every crisis that's going on, you're doing what you can do. So, yeah.
Yes, totally.
Yeah. Nice.
And it's a ripple effect. So, yeah.
Nice. Last question. Mm-hmm. Would you rather, I think I know which one you're going to pick. Would you rather constantly have ass breath or have a 90-year-old's saggy ass?
I'll go with the ass. Yes, the ass I can cover. I can do lipo, whatever, leggings, yoga pants, to padding. The breath, no, the breath. No. Mm-hmm. I can't. Mm-hmm. I can do that. We already discussed it. Yeah, I have a problem with that. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. That's why I was like, you know what? We actually covered this already.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, it's wrapped itself up in a nice bow. I want to thank you for your time, for being on. Thank you, listeners of 1,000 Crazy Questions, for listening to this episode. And Dalila, is there anything you want to plug or ask or tell the listeners in general?
Well, it's been a pleasure. First of all, thank you so much, Houston, for having me. This was one of the funnest podcasts, and I'll be talking about it with my friends and relatives. For your listeners, if you're interested in my music to discover a little more, you can find my music is on all online platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora. And the easiest way to find me is through my official website, myaprojectmusic.com. And I'm currently working on my new album. Until then, please enjoy Dystopia, which is a concept album that talks about a lot about a human mankind, the human origins and the universe. Being a physicist myself, I love talking about, what the heck are we doing here? Because it's one of my probably deepest questions that I've never found an answer for. And that's pretty much it. Please follow me online, and thank you again for having me. This was super awesome.
Thank you. Thank you again, listeners of 1,000 Crazy Questions. That's 1000 on Instagram. Your username will get a shout out if your question makes the episode. Please, thank you for rating the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever else it's found. Yeah, share this with your friends, share this with your enemies, and everyone stay safe. Bye.
Bye.
As always, follow my music producer D800, D-800 at BeatStars or SoundCloud.com.